We've never not paid anybody. I just want to say that we have never not paid anybody.
Since June of 2019, you have never been
paid anybody. Nobody can say they've never gotten paid. Most of the people here know the story about how we got started, back in 2019 and everything else. Just a couple of nobodies in the fish tank. I was telling you last night when we were talking, I actually named most of our test accounts after sharks because I felt like we were little koi fish swimming in a shark tank, which made me very nervous. But when you're tasked to do something, you just got to do it and kind of try to figure it out as you go along. We built our business, one brick at a time, one person at a time, hitting some bumps along the road, which we still continue to hit. Fast forward to 2022, my goodness. I don't know that I would have expected that kind of growth over the course of 1 year. I mean, you talk about doubling in size. We're doubling in size every 60 days. And again, just continuing to do what we do, staying consistent, not paying too much mind about, what other things are going on in the market. And when I say that, I mean, influences. I know, you guys as leaders come in sometimes and you're like, well, this leader's doing this or this company's doing that. And sometimes you just gotta, stay focused. I don't really listen to too much other than, God himself, because I felt like he's the one who gave us this plan, this mission, and it was to do nothing more than to help benefit people. And that's the ultimate goal. We look for new ways to keep adding on to the business. We look for new ways to continue to build it. But most importantly, we just got to sometimes, strap in when things aren't always going our way and just make sure that we push forward. I always have that saying, every new level, there's a new devil. And every challenge that comes along is more difficult than the last one. But what's most important is that, we continue to do whatever we can to overcome those struggles and make sure we continue with the business. So I know there was a couple of topics you guys wanted to touch on as well, but let's get to what you guys want to talk about.
Well, I mean, 2023, right? The expectations, we're in a new year. We understand that, having faith and having hope and understanding that, 2023 is going to be here and we're going to have a great year. We know we are, but there's going to also be rainy and cloudy days, and I think more importantly, that's what people want to know, believe it or not, right? People want to know, okay, well, what are the challenges that's going to arise or, what are the stumbling blocks or the hurdles that NovaTech has to overcome in 2023 now that we are here? Because we've already proved, right? NovaTech's already proved that they can sustain. You've been doing the exact same thing since 2019. It's why we're so big. But what are some of the hurdles that you guys are consistently having to grow through?
No, that's a great question. But I think the biggest hurdle sometimes is just our own internal processes. We with the growth, especially as far as what we're doing to produce income or produce profit or whatever, that doesn't change. And it's a little just frustrating to us, especially when having to deal with these things, because the front end, for example, which is what users see, isn't always prepared for us, right? So, you take, for example, we went through months of this year just with system downtime or slowing down. We pay consistently, only because people like consistency and it's what works for the program and works for how we budget and pay for things, on a weekly basis. It doesn't stop everybody from wanting to log into the system at the same time every single Friday, every single Saturday in order to be able to check their accounts, withdraw. That's just human nature and it's to be expected. I think the biggest challenge we had this year was just finding developers, servers, system providers that can just keep up with us. So I think for the most part, we've got a lot of those kinks worked out. You'll notice there's very little system downtime. Things are moving a lot faster. We've made an attempt also to add additional payment providers and gateways, which you'll also see in the back office. With that also comes with system testing and some downtime. And I think, aside from just trying to keep up with ourselves, a lot of times it's very challenging just dealing with things that are going on in the market, things that are going on outside of ourselves, because people allow themselves to be influenced by things that are going on outside that don't directly have anything to do with us or affect us, but indirectly, can impact us. An exchange goes down, crypto crashes, another business goes out of business. And for some reason, people get really caught up in those things. And it's not something that we try to focus on, because our focus has to be here and what we're doing here to build. So sometimes, it's challenging just dealing with outside forces. But more importantly, right now, what our main focus has been, and, why you probably don't see us online too much, is because so much of our time is being spent on just the infrastructure of and the usability of our site. And things have to be easy for our members. They have to be able to get in and out the site easily. They have to be able to make their withdrawals and deposits easily. And, this, for example, this new payment gateway, the first day we released payments, we crashed the system. It was a minor, fix. It took them literally maybe 2 to 3 hours to get it, corrected and readjusted, which is why I love the new system, is because of the service that it provides and their ability to, when things go wrong, fix them quickly. But it's a little harrowing while it's happening, but, they were like, we were prepared. We thought we were prepared for you. We just didn't realize how much what kind of volume you guys are dealing with. Because when we do things, we like to just do them quick and get them out the way. So, running into these kind of delays and whatever else, I know it's frustrating for users. It's equally frustrating, if not more frustrating for us, because I want to be able to just push a button and let things go. And that doesn't always happen. But we're hoping that, between today, tomorrow, we can start to get back on track with a lot of the system testing that's going on, so that our users aren't having any, concern. Every little thing, guys, trust me, I use the system myself. I've been in the market in the same position most of our users in for many years, and every little thing causes your stomach to just drop sometimes, and you get nervous and you panic. But, I just mostly want people to understand that none of it is intentional. When things go wrong, of course not. And it's always our goal to just continue, to fix things as quickly as possible so that it affects our members as little as possible. So, like I said, the goal, over the next few days is just to get back on track so that we can focus on the things that matter. So people aren't having that anxiety.
I think one of the biggest challenges, and if you can speak on this, and you mentioned it, the sentiment of people, because they're constantly watching everything that's going on the outside. And right. Being that NovaTech is so unique in its platform, where everyone always, for the most part, has full access to their capital, everything that they make a deposit in, it's very unusual in this space. So what ends up happening is, when people start seeing, for example, exchanges going down, or the market this, or CNN's talking this, this, people now get anxiety, and then they do what they wouldn't even do in their own, let's just say, retirement, right? Which is want to do withdrawals. How do we control that, from your perspective?
Control. People just have to be calm or settled or comfortable. Once something is in your head, it's a mindset. You have to have a level of comfort. You take, for example, the people who have been here from the beginning. You guys talk to us regularly, so you know a little bit more about what goes on behind the scenes sometimes. So you have a level of comfort that somebody new coming into the business may not have that level of comfort. It's really on us to make sure that we continue to provide a proper service in an expeditious manner, in a professional manner, so that people don't have a level of discomfort. No matter what you do as you're dealing with people's money, there's always going to be that, what just happened kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? But that onus is really on us, to make sure that we communicate properly, that we fix things properly so that people don't think, there's something wrong. What I would encourage people to not do, is listen to people online who honestly sometimes have no idea what they're talking about or what they're saying. It's some people's jobs to do nothing more than to search for businesses to discredit them. I've never paid attention to any of it. I know sometimes people want us to react to it or say something about it, but if I put my focus on there, then my focus is not here. You made a cool analogy last night about celebrities or whatever having to be online all day long listening to what other people say. But I just think it's a sad state, when you have to put yourself in a position to discredit other people in order to build your own business or distract them or whatever. We have never done that. You'll never find any of the admins here at NovaTech talking about another business or justifying something somebody said online or whatever. It's just not our focus. Our job and our main goal has always been to build people. And we can't build people if we're tearing down others, right? So we just got to stay focused on what it is that we're doing so that we provide a service. And the people inside of NovaTech, of course, you're always going to have some people that are having a struggle or a problem with their account or whatever else that we need to address. And, I want to talk about that also next. But we get nothing more than a great deal of gratitude, for what it is that we do. And it's just about providing people a solution. We've never advertised ourselves as being, the get rich quick or give us all your money or put in more. People ask us all the time, why do we have a $99 account? It doesn't make sense. It's because a lot of our members, that's all they have. And that's what they enter with and they build and they have an opportunity to make more. I have people who started with $99 accounts and are now buying, Mercedes and living in nice houses that they would have never lived in. And, it's not even just about the money. I had a mom message me yesterday about being able to buy an electric wheelchair, for her daughter who was born with spina bifida, and being able to take her on vacation for the first time ever. Others who are paying their medical bills or getting their kids through school or, we started from the bottom with everybody here, and it's every single time I'm like, oh, this is getting so difficult. We get those stories in our inbox and it's like, God just knows to time them just correctly. And I tell you guys that all the time. Somebody will just send a random message about the difference we're making in their lives. And to me, that overtakes everything else. I still consider a small fish in a very big ocean. We're not even like in a pond anymore or a shark tank. We're in a very big ocean. And a lot of people don't like that we're in their space. They don't like, what we're doing or, how, they say we're doing it or whatever else. And they want to label or mislabel, what we do in an effort to try to discredit us. But, the fact that we've been able to stay ongoing for so long and satisfy accounts for so long and still have a vision for the future, I think just speaks for itself. And, whoever wants to try to take it down, they can. But unless God walks in this door right now and tells me that, we're taking you down, which he's not going to do because he gave it to us to help benefit people, then I don't think that's going to happen. So sometimes, a lot of times problems arise because people are misrepresenting. I don't think anybody here does it intentionally. I don't think anybody out here flat out says the wrong thing in order to get more people into the business, because the business grows, naturally on its own. And people who are here love it. And it's one of those things that it's very easy to be able to communicate. Because when that happens, then we have to justify what it is that we're doing, how we're doing it, how things are defined. And again, not everybody wants us to be in their space. So we have to make sure that, all the T's are crossed, all the I's are dotted, and that we're not saying things that may give the impression that we're violating any types of rules, regulations, laws, stuff like that.
I think that's definitely a good point, and really streamlining it and putting it directly into the back office as its kind of own. I mean, NovaTech already has it. The problem is no one reads, right? Their disclaimers, disclosures, terms, and agreements. No one reads it. right? People
No.
just want to start having the potential to earn profits. So here's an interesting question, which we've brought this up before. As a matter of fact, probably the first person that may have brought it up to you outside of hearing it all the time from our leaders. But more importantly, this question, because I see it coming in my text. We're growing so fast, right? Mm-hmm. But I know we're also in a position, or at least you're in a position through NovaTech, that you could actually just shut all the noise up and make this where we just make it a private community and say, hey, we're not taking in any members. It's not like this is a rob Peter to pay Paul platform. Why not just shut it down and just allow the people just to be a private club where now that's it. And if you want to open up later on, you can. Why not do that?
Well, technically we are a private club. What happens is this private club shares information publicly, you know what I'm saying? So there's nothing that's not private about who we are. And again, you know, I don't know if the goal of the company, the overall goal of the company should be to shut down. When you start something as big as of a snowball or avalanche that it may turn into, you start something small and you build it for what reason? You build it to be able to give more and more people opportunity. You know, that there are plenty of people here who've been benefiting for years. You know, so why not continue to give that opportunity to everybody? You know, I mean, I don't think anybody can come inside of this institution and find something wrong to say unless they're making it up. So yeah. I encourage people to just, you know, if we want to be exclusive, if we want to be a private club, treat it like a private club. Treat it like when you sign into your back office that you're the only one that's able to access it. You're the only one who has, you know, that information. You know, and if you want to share it with others, make sure you screen them and pre-qualify them. I don't think we do enough of that. People sign up people all the time. I'm not a fan and have never been of like leads filters and stuff like that. I've always grown businesses organically, just having conversations with people, and that's how you pre-qualify them to come into this. So, you know, some of you guys are bringing a bunch of riffraff into the business sometimes too, that don't understand it, or they're not investing, or they have, you know, an account that they're not building, or they're not sharing it, and then the minute, you know, a withdrawal is 3 minutes late, they want to, you know, scream fraud. That's not this type of business. You know what I'm saying? We work very hard to maintain our credibility, and it's very important to us that we're able to continue, you know, what it is that we do.
I'm looking at the questions that are coming in, and one person asked, "Hey, why aren't profits higher? Because crypto is higher from last week to this week." Another person says, "Well, why are the profits so low compared to other companies?"
You want higher, you know, profits, but, you know, crypto may not be heading in the right direction, or the market may not be heading in the right direction, or it's holiday and the market's closed for so many days. Well, people need to understand too what we do. It's trading, right? So if there's an opportunity to make money, nobody asks, well, why did I make profit this week? Although crypto crashed, everybody's like, yeah, we made profit. But when
keep on going, preach it.
It went up like a hair, you know.
Preach it.
Yeah, but we also still have trades that have been suffering from when it did go down, you know. So the process of trading itself, there's money to be made no matter what direction a coin may be moving, whether it's Forex or crypto. All right. What's most important is what direction are you facing when that starts to happen? So if you're in a direction where you bought and it's going up, you're great. But if you're in a position where you're selling and it starts to go up, then it messes up your numbers. You know, so these are all things that have to be taken into consideration.
I think they said there's no such thing as a bad trade, guys. No such thing as a bad trade. It depends what position that you are in. Okay, which way you're facing. If you look at in the past few weeks, past few months, the entire industry have been taking a big hit. You got a lot of big players falling out of the space. And as that happens, it does create a lot of panic. It does affect trading. It does affect everything in the market. And it does affect also with people saying, well, what's happening with crypto right now? Let's pull out all our money. Let's cash out, this and that. But like we said, we haven't missed one payment yet. Not one. And I'll leave it at that.
And to touch on that also, I don't know if it's the holiday season or things that were going on in the market. I have to imagine it's just a combination of a lot of different things. But, a huge amount of withdrawals. And we're trying to get to those as fast as we can, but the volume is like much ridiculously higher than it would normally be. Some of that may just be, again, holiday season, people just needing, money, people going out buying houses. Maybe there's another opportunity. Every time something new pops up in the market, we notice more withdrawals. Totally fine. Every time a business crashes, there's more withdrawals because for some reason they think I'm in another business. All of these things impact how quickly we can do things. Or, everybody's like, give me my money now. I'll give it back to you next week. Some people just test us and withdraw constantly. We've never not paid anybody. I just want to say that. We have never not paid anybody.
Since June of 2019, you have never been
paid anybody. Nobody can say they've never gotten paid. Okay. Right now, it's not as fast as we would normally do it, but it's because the requests are so much higher than we normally receive. And we can't just because, thousands of people want to make withdrawals because it's Christmas to just shut down all the trades and withdraw all the money. Everything has to be very calculated.
But like we said, we haven't missed one payment yet, not one. And I'll leave it at that.
Hey,
thank you.
You don't need to say anything. You're like Floyd Mayweather. You're undefeated. It don't matter what you think if I'm the greatest or not, right? You're undefeated.
Yeah, I like that analogy, but just all things on the up and up and the real, this is not a business where it's just, put it in, take it out, put it in, take it out. Oh, I want it this week. I don't want it next week. It's like, there are things that go on behind the scenes as well. And that require us to just do it carefully and make sure it's well calculated. Just a lot going on also, but we still try to do whatever we can to focus here and pay attention here. This is all one big family. We try not to treat anybody any differently, whether you're, $1 million investor or a $99 investor. It's very important to us that everybody feels comfortable here. What we do ask, is because there's so many of us, and as far as support is concerned, we've been growing the support team, but I can't build a call center. And we're at the point where we would need a call center with like hundreds of people in it to be able to address every single person's concern. These are financial accounts. We take security very seriously. So I can't just give people access to your accounts to be able to help answer a question. We have leaders who build support groups. And we ask that if you do have an issue, try to go through the proper channels before reaching support. Yes, at the beginning when we started this business, I always told everybody, go to support, because that was the easiest thing to do. However, that was like when there was 1,000 people here. So, and it was manageable. I know about a month or two back, we reset the queue. And literally, guys, within 2 days, we got more inquiries than we had in 2 months. So we're trying to find solutions and the best way to keep up with your inquiries. We, as a rule here, have always been very tight as far as what changes people can make on their accounts. Stuff like PIN changes, stuff like email changes have always had to go through support because it's the one thing that allows people access to all of your funds and all of your information. So we need people to be very careful when setting up their email addresses. Please be careful about giving people access to their accounts. I know we have what we call account managers. That's not an official rule here. I don't support account managers within this business. I don't think anybody should have access to users' accounts other than their own. So for that reason, a lot of times support tickets build up. Half of the support inquiries are email changes. That's just mind blowing. I've had the same email since I was 18. We do want to try to minimize the burden on support because, they are trying to get to inquiries. I have to be honest with you. I try to hop in every once in a while to help escalated issues. So does Mr. Petion and Mr. Roy. 95% of the time, and I say this with all seriousness, 95% of the time I go in to answer an inquiry and it did not need to come to me. It didn't even need to go through support. Either somebody's not checking or they just didn't understand or they're making a mistake. I don't know how many times people just forget their own username. A lot of times people just need to be a little bit more careful. We did implement an email verification now that people have to verify their emails. A lot of times people put in the wrong emails. Sometimes they're just not being careful registering it. And that causes huge issues because we use that to communicate and send out verifications and everything else. You can't even set up your 2FA without it. So now when new people register, they will get a verification email. They need to look for that email and click on that link to make sure that that email is accurate when they're registering. So far, that's been running very smoothly. And I do see a decrease in the number of email changes that are needed, which is good. So we'll continue to work on stuff like that. We also have, a new platform we're building out, which will hopefully just continue to improve how you guys are interacting with us and your back office. And just to wrap up for 2023, guys, we have some projects that we were working on aggressively last year. Some of it ended up on the back burner only because of, the dip in crypto, war in Ukraine, other, outside influences. And in our own, we paused for a while also just to make sure that we were focusing on the infrastructure and making sure that our site works. We can add whatever we want to the program. If we don't have a site or a service that can accommodate it, it's really for nothing. So we're getting back on track with a lot of that. Over the next couple of months, we hope to be able to announce, changes or additions to the services and whatever else that we're providing so that, again, we can, continue to build. The goal is never to, walk away or put our tails between our legs or stop taking people or, back down. So it hasn't been our style for the past 4 years. We don't intend to do that. And like I said, over the next couple of months, I think we should be getting an update over actually the next week or two also on some of the projects we were working on last year. So I will be more diligent about, being online and communicating things with you guys. And, I just want to thank everybody again for being here. Thank you to all the leaders, for all the support that you provide. And, I just love being able to be in touch with you guys and hear things. And hopefully we can just impress everybody this year as much as we have, if not more, over the last 2 years and show people who we are.
There's two things actually. Well, the first thing which you spoke about. Yeah, right. You spoke about it already, but I wanted to just kind of elaborate a little more on it because I don't pay very much attention to it, but as it continues to come in, and again, we understand the world in its own, right? The world is built on fear, uncertainty, and doubt. All right. That's why there's the 1%ers and then there's everybody else. You got to figure out where you fit. Guys, it's very important that you don't focus on anything negative on social media platforms when it comes to YouTube, because that's really the only place you're going to find it. But remember, there is no credibility. If it ain't coming from, the government, all right, and it's coming from a YouTube channel, it's a personal opinion. It's someone that has no vested interest in the platform at all. All they have is an interest in getting as many clicks as they can. When you respond on their websites, you know what happens? They get paid. Mm-hmm. When they say, "Oh, I don't have any other reason to do this but to inform people." You have no reason to do this.
Also, if it doesn't affect you, it doesn't impact you, then it doesn't affect you, it doesn't impact you. You take, for example, we have the Telegram page. I very innocently went on there because I noticed, issue with some USDT wallets, trying to be proactive to tell people, hey, listen, if you've had an issue with a USDT withdrawal recently, you might want to either change the wallet or just resubmit it or something. It was literally 18 people that it impacted. 18 people got an error with a USDT wallet. I was trying to be proactive before it grew into 100 or 1,000 issues. And next thing I know, we're on some website being blasted saying we're having issue with our payments and we're not paying people. I'm like, but things like this grow very much out of control. And then people contacted us literally for 2 or 3 days to be like, well, what's this message about? I'm like, do you have a USDT wallet? No, then why are you contacting me? Did you have an issue with a payment? No, it went through. Then why are you contacting me? Like, you didn't pay attention to the message where I said, hey, we're trying to be proactive, make sure there's no issue. You paid attention to a website that posted something. Like, who has that kind of time, guys? Just just focus on what affects you and what matters to you. Don't make stuff up. Don't get concerned about somebody else said this or that. You have to just, put that to the side, because that stuff is just negative energy. It doesn't do any good for anybody. We love you guys tremendously. Thank you for everything that you do. I'm excited about this year. It's been a stressful couple of months, but when you're a rock, you have no chance, but no choice but to just stand still and make sure that you remain, impenetrable. So I do encourage everybody to just be a little patient, and I promise you, we're doing everything that we can to keep up.
You said this is not the red light district. This was the last thing I needed to say. All right? You said this is not the red. You created a system that was designed to build your profits over time. This is not the red light district. Let me say that. Right. Yeah. You close on this.
I think what I said was that we are not a slam bam. Thank you, ma'am. This is not. We didn't build our bit. This is not the red light district. We're more like the suburbs. You actually have to work to get here, and you have to, keep up with the Joneses. So, for those of you who don't like the profits, I'm sorry. For those who think things could be a little better, we are improving. We appreciate the feedback. We understand nothing is done intentionally other than doing the right thing. So, I'll leave that there. God bless everybody. Thank you for being here this bright Tuesday morning, and hope to talk to you guys soon.